Just in relation to the drug crisis,
Yes.
we have a real concern. You see many people are being arrested, and now there's a joint operation. Around 2018, 2019, we knew there were cases of meth coming up. People have raised concerns about what the government did then, whether it should have been accelerated efforts back then. Can you comment on that?
I think, Vijay, anybody looking at it objectively, and you can check this out with Australian Federal Police and various other agencies from various other countries, government actually took a very proactive stance. And I know there's been a lot of talk, this. See, this is the problem, like the way they used to say that Kanda was being sold to China, it became a political tool. So everybody's blaming the previous government, they're saying Muslims did it because I'm a Muslim, whatever. All this nonsense is coming out. Let's call a spade a spade. It's all nonsense. When Commissioner Qiliho was in place, he had a Special Narcotics Unit. Now remember him wanting additional funding, we gave them additional funding. For example, for things like hiring unmarked cars. And sometimes they used to have it for 1 week. Then he came to us and said, no, I need to change my vehicles every 2 days because these guys are very good intelligence gathering themselves. So we need to change the vehicles, so remain unmarked. We gave the funding. And one of the first things that this government did when they got elected, they got rid of that narcotics unit. You guys are not covering it because it does not suit your narrative because you too must follow this government.
It has been covered, sir.
So anyway, it was removed for 1 year. There was no Special Narcotics Unit. If you know about drugs and all of that and how it works internationally, even 1 week of space for them is too much. This is 1 year of leverage that was given to them. So then they set up a Special Narcotics Unit, and of course, as you know, certain things that happened. I don't know much about it. Some people apparently were compromised, etc. Now, that's the issue, because there was a leverage that was given to them for 1 year. They need to address it. Of course, it's leading to various other issues. But one point that I did want to make, and one of the speakers I think mentioned about job evaluation exercise. The police, we had 5 stages for them for the salaries to be increased. And I was actually quite surprised that in the budget in 2023 or even 2024, they did not go back to the police job evaluation exercise. They should have increased their salaries. Reality is this, that when you have the cost of living going up, when you have then at the same time your people at your border control, people who are supposed to implement the law, they are not getting paid well, but there's a lot of enticements being offered to them on the side, people are bound to fall. People are bound to succumb to that type of environment. And of course, unfortunately, some of them have. So I would have thought that the police would have received the re-implementation of the job evaluation exercise, because they are the ones, I believe, the front line. Even today in Fiji, the police are the ones who need a pay rise. They need to be modernized. And we were actually doing that because a lot of people don't know, back in 2007 or so, when the Benny Marama government was appointed, the police at that time, a police officer used to get paid $6,000 or $7,000 a year. That was their salary. And we expected them to do the best. They used to get kerosene allowance because they thought in the colonial times that people used kerosene, even though they're living in gas stove, using gas stove now. So a lot of these things we actually did rationalize, and we're working towards that to build a professional workforce. But I really feel sorry for the police force, because they are the ones who are at the front line. They're expected to implement, and they are the ones, the last ones who actually don't get it.
Just on the drugs one, Aiyaz Musa, it has been said before that he was one of the funders or supporters of the former FijiFirst. He fled Fiji. Eventually he was convicted of importation of drugs in New Zealand. What do you have to say to people who still say that the FijiFirst favored people like Aiyaz Musa?
Incorrect. Simply incorrect. I can tell you many names of people who funded NFP who may be involved in drugs too. So there you go. It's stupid to claim that. There's absolutely no evidence. Unfortunately, mainstream media is jumping. The fact that you're asking me that question without any proof, without any connectivity, goes to show the mindset.
He fled the scene. He fled Fiji.
Whatever it was, I don't know what happened. There are many people who are doing wrong things. Do I go and blame Rambuka or Bimal Prasad or
I'm asking you because you were the minister at the time.
No, it's the same way.
It's just your response.
It's the same way. I'm not minister for drugs or whatever. The point is this.
You were a minister in the government,
Yeah, so?
a senior minister. So
Yeah.
I'm just asking you the question.
It was
because you fled at
your
the time.
assumption. Your assumption is incorrect.
I'm not assuming.
No, you are assumption. You're saying because you missed the government and you fled, so therefore I have some connectivity with it.
No, I'm
in the
asking
same way,
your response.
In the same way, there are many people, there are many injustices that are happening. Many people have fled Fiji, but you don't ask them that question. That's the point. You're not asking them that question. Many people are not necessarily doing a thorough job of what's happened to Vakarisi, right? There's no critical analysis taking place in that space.